All right, it's time for MyBookie football picks presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round, MyBookie.ag. Code next round. So easy to sign up when you go to MyBookie.ag. They just ask you for a very little bit of information. You give them that information and make sure part of that information is code next round. Code next round at MyBookie.ag, and that is going to get you that $500, up to $500 bet back bonus. You make your first bet. That bet doesn't hit at MyBookie.ag. They'll put it right back into your account up to $500, and you can play again. We are on to week number 3 of the NFL, week number 4 of college football. We'll talk about both of them, all the Saturday action. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Let's get right to it. Let's start with the big noon kick. Utah -3 as they take on Texas Tech. I think what some people might be surprised by is the size of this total, just 57.5. When you look at what Texas Tech can do offensively, that's a bit of a compliment to Utah's defense.
I mean, they've outscored their first 3 opponents 174-35. Barron Morton is yet to take a snap in the fourth quarter. Things will change when they go to Salt Lake. Again, I hate this early game. It's a 10 o'clock kick, local time, Salt Lake. This is one of the more underrated crowds in all of college football. Devin Dampier, over 800 total yards right now. The quarterback transfer from New Mexico, now playing for Kyle Whittingham in Utah. I think he is the difference maker. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry with the legs. I like Utah minus the 3.5. I think it'll be a hell of a game. I think it's a one-possession game. I'd probably stay away from this game, but if I'm playing it, I'm playing the home team minus 3.5.
Yeah, I like that you went on and picked that one. On the road at Wyoming in the 31-6 win, the key stat for me and what Dampier and his offensive coordinator who have come together, one of those offensive coordinator and quarterback package deals that you got coming to Utah, 9 of 15 on the road last week on third down conversions. That's been a key for them this year. I agree with LT. I think it continues this weekend. Kyle Whittingham in a coaching mismatch. Utah wins it.
Coaching mismatch, Joe McGuire. It does feel like the stage a little bit big for Texas Tech in this situation on a Fox Big Noon kick with all the attention that'll be on that game. Utah -3. Both of you like Utah -3. I think I'm with you on that one too. It will be a popular upset pick. If you're in like these upset pools, we do an upset alert on this show. It showed up on that. Memphis playing host to Arkansas. Arkansas coming off a track meet game in Oxford, Dunaway, where Tulane Green put up a ton of numbers. Now you go on the road to one of the best Group 5 teams out there in Memphis, playing in the Liberty Bowl. Early kick. 7.5-point favorite, Arkansas on the road, a total of 62 in this game. So there will be some points likely.
You expect points in this game because Tulane Green has been responsible for 3 straight games of 500 or more yards of a total offense in the passing and running in these first 3 games. So the offense is humming. Arkansas is a good football team. Memphis, though, dark horse college football playoff team. Everyone in the American is talking about USF. Then they're talking about Tulane. And then here's Memphis, a team that probably several times over the course of our BCS and playoff era would have been in a 12-team playoff. I think this is the year Memphis sticks the landing. I think they catch Arkansas looking ahead to Notre Dame, and they pull the upset at the Liberty Bowl this weekend outright, Memphis.
I like Memphis plus points. Physical game for Arkansas last week against Ole Miss. Look, Tulane Green leading the country in total offense, 866 passing yards, 307 rushing yards, 13 total touchdowns. He is going to be a handful for this Memphis defense, but Ryan Silverfield has the best defense he's had at Memphis. We just showed you a graphic, 25-5 their last 30 games, 5-0-1 against the number their last 6 out against the spread. I like the Tigers as well, plus 7.5.
Dang, you two agreeing right now. I'm going to go against you. I like Arkansas. Arkansas minus 7.5. I am a believer in Tulane Green, and Bobby Petrino is going to ride Tulane Green as long as he can all year, and this guy is going to put up, I think, some massive numbers for Arkansas. They're going to beat somebody they're not supposed to. They're supposed to win this one. Obviously, as 7.5-point favorites. Clemson has struggled mightily. Syracuse has the leading passing offense in the country right now. They're playing in Little Death Valley at Clemson. The Tigers favored 17 in this one. Boy, that is no belief in what Syracuse has done early this season, which is score a bunch of points and throw the ball all over the yard.
Yeah, look, Angeli now, your leading passer as far as total yards. Cade Klubnik, the one known we thought for a quarterback coming back in the ACC, 37.5 QBR through 3 games, 121st out of 136 quarterbacks. Syracuse is 0-5 all-time in Death Valley. but all of those losses by one score.
Oh, that's a trend and our angle. That would definitely keep you inside the number here.
The question becomes, is this the week that you get Antonio Williams back for Clemson?
Who knows?
Is it? Hamstring injury in the opener. If he comes back, this could be the storyline that starts. With Antonio Williams, Klubnik is much better. I don't know if we see him this week. I don't know if we see him this year at all, but we'll see about Antonio Williams and that hamstring injury and if he's able to play and get Clemson go. By the way, 9 drives last week against Georgia Tech. Only 3 of them were 5 or more yard drives. They were either 3 and out or got 1 first down and that's amazing. Got 1 other play after that to keep from going 3 and out. Only 3 of the 9.
I've jumped on the bandwagon of good coaches win, great coaches cover. Dabo Swinney, we threw the numbers out there, but he's 1-7 against the spread his last 8 games.
I think 17 is just too many points.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points for the way Clemson has played.
The public is all over Syracuse. Like, you've given me way too many points. Yeah. Syracuse, as good as Clemson's defense can be, Syracuse got a good enough offense so they can score on the other side. Can Clemson get this offense? And I agree with Dunaway. Antonio Williams back. It's going to be a different offense. If not, don't know how good this Clemson offense can be.
I'm adding Clemson to my big winner list over here. That has now grown to 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 big winners. Memphis on there too.
Already talked 19 about parlay, man.
19, you share that
parlay.
with us at the end of the show.
I may go 19 parlay.
End of this show, the MyBookie Football Pick Show, you're going to share that with us.
Wait, and 1, 2, other than Clemson, they're all underdogs.
Yeah. Real quick, we won't spend much time on this game. Oregon's a 35.5-point favorite over Oregon State, and the Civil War has Trent Bray, Oregon State coach. Has he said anything disrespectful about Oregon and or Dan Lanning? Have you seen anything, Dunaway? Has he said anything disrespectful?
Dante Moore should have been more loyal and stayed at UCLA than he walked out. No, he didn't.
No, the 35.5 wouldn't be enough. As long as he's been respectful, this should stay at the 35.5.
Did you know this is the second most played rivalry?
The Civil War is?
The Civil War.
I did not know that.
129th time they're meeting.
Wow.
Now, they're 0-5 all-time. Oregon State is in Eugene against a top 10 Oregon team, and I think Oregon is in the top 10, right?
I would say they're in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, this is a name-your-score game. If Dan Lanning wants to do that. I thought they were a little out of sorts when they played Northwestern this past week. The offense was spot on against Oklahoma State. It was a little off. They still win the game going away. You know, you catch Oregon on the right day, you can lay whatever, and they're going to cover it.
All right, we will do the midday games and make some picks there as well. It is our MyBookie Football Pick Show presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at MyBookie.ag, and that first bet is going to be covered by their Bet Back bonus. Very easy to sign up there and get that Bet Back bonus when you use code next round. What that is going to do is cover your first bet up to $500. You make your first bet, lose up to $500. They put it right back into your account, and you can play again right away at mybookie.ag. That is when you use code next round, the bet back bonus, code next round at mybookie.ag. Michigan is at Nebraska, Big Ten action, where the Wolverines are a 2-point road favorite. Michigan looking to basically hold on to their playoff lives in this game. I mean, if they lose this game, it is a tough path to the playoffs for the Michigan Wolverines.
2 5-star quarterbacks, Bryce Underwood and then Dylan Raiola. Nebraska beat a Cincinnati team on the opening Thursday night, and then they've really been off the radar, not playing anybody. This is a circle game for Nebraska. It's a chance to go 4-0 for the first time since 2016 for Nebraska, and I think they get it done. I think they win the game outright and cover.
I thought Nebraska would win. This is a really difficult game. I probably will completely stay away from it. It just looks so not easy. There's just something that tells you Nebraska is going to be 4-0. We know they're going to be better in year 3 under Matt Rule. This is a difficult game. Like, Bryce Underwood, I think, is just going to get better and better and better. Raiola's been really good early on, completing 77% of his passes. He's yet to turn it over. Michigan 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. I'm going to lean Michigan here, but I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go Nebraska. I like Matt Rule in Nebraska to get this win. It's going to put Michigan in a tough spot. I don't know how much, if any, a head coach being suspended impacts Michigan. It didn't when it was Jim Harbaugh. Will it now? Biff Poggi got the win last week. Can he do it again at Nebraska? Also in that midday window, Auburn is at Oklahoma. The Sooners have been 6.5 most of the week, but right now at MyBookie.ag, Oklahoma is a 7-point favorite. Total of 47.5. It's the start of a very, very difficult string of games for the Auburn Tigers, who come into this game 3-0 yet again under Hugh Freeze, but this is by far and away their biggest test of the season so far.
First time the Auburn Tigers have ever played in the state of Oklahoma.
How about that? Did not know.
Their 25th state that they have played in now. That will happen on Saturday.
They got that map on the side of their RV where they can put the Oklahoma magnet on now, right?
Look, as bad as Jackson Arnold seemed last year in this offense for Oklahoma, he didn't turn the football over, and he's yet to turn the football over, through 3 games for Auburn. If he protects the football, and more importantly, if they can run the football, 16th nationally, rushing at 240 yards a game against an Oklahoma defense that's only given up 1 rushing touchdown. I think if Auburn and Cobb can go in and Jackson Arnold can use the legs a little bit, I think they can keep it under the number. I would take Auburn plus the points right now as we sit here on a Thursday. I don't love it, but I would play Auburn plus points.
I thought Jackson had a bad turnover problem last year, but he's been really good so far this year. To me, it's about controlling John Mateer, who Lance has told you how good he is all summer long. He's another one of the guys that got his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, to come with him. Auburn is 6th in sacks, 12th tackle for losses, 16th in run defense right now. It's Falk and Crawford who have to control Mateer. And that's the thing. To me, you got to stop Mateer from running, creating plays, and let's see if he can throw the football to a receiving corps that's healthier than they ever were when Jackson Arnold was there, and stop Mateer and then see what your offense can do against that Oklahoma defense.
Yeah,
but if Mateer is able to run, then this game's over early.
Yeah. Just back to it, though. He only turned the football over 3 times in 9 starts last year.
That's it, just 3 times.
Yeah, when did you told us yesterday his last interception is before last year's Red River, right?
Yeah, it's last September against Tennessee.
He's gone a full calendar year.
He has gone 223 consecutive attempps without throwing an interception.
That's one of those when the TV shows that stat, you cringe. You're like, oh, no, don't do that. I think Oklahoma wins this game, but I do think Auburn gets it inside the 7. Let's go to another midday game. This one in Oxford, Mississippi. The Ole Miss Rebels, 12.5-point favorites over the Tulane Green Wave, another team competing for that playoff spot out of the group of 5. Tulane just beat Duke. If they could add a win over Ole Miss, they would have to be the leading candidate right now. Still got to take care of business in the American to get that playoff spot. A total of 61.5. So a lot of points expected by Vegas in this game. Can Tulane score enough of them to threaten Ole Miss?
I think they can score a lot of points. Retzloff, the transfer quarterback from BYU, good with his legs this year. The question becomes, what does Ole Miss get from their quarterback position if this ends up being them needing 30 points to win the game? Trinidad Chambliss had a great start last week for the injured Austin Simmons. Lane Kiffin saying this week Simmons is starting again. We'll see if they turn to Chambliss at some point early in the contest. But my question becomes, can that offense look better than it looked at Kentucky against a defensive-minded John Summerall Tulane? This is a scary game for Ole Miss.
It is a scary game for Ole Miss just because you look at Tulane, no Mekhi Hughes, who goes to Oregon, who really hasn't done anything at all for the Ducks. They're still without Hughes, averaging 222 yards rushing per game. You're going against an Ole Miss team coming off an emotional win against Arkansas in conference, a game they should win. They're averaging almost 45 points per game and over 541 yards per game. But Tulane, 9-4 against the spread their last 13 out. I thought I was going to make it my upset alert. I didn't want to draw the wave.
Oh, the wave's fun.
To draw an alligator instead. Yes. I like Tulane in this spot. I don't think they win the game. It would be pretty amazing win if they're able to pull that off, but I think they keep it closer than most people think.
More on the alligator in a moment. I do think Tulane plays it inside the number.
By the way, for those of us that fly the SEC flag,
right?
Scary reputation weekend. Arkansas at Memphis, Tulane at Ole Miss. 2
American opponents right there. Another one from the ACC coming up in a moment in the primetime window. A reminder as we go to the late-night games, and we'll talk some NFL in a moment as well. You can play all the games at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up for your account right there. Very easy to sign up right there at mybookie.ag, and part of that is using code next round to get that bet back bonus up to $500 covering your first bet. You lose up to $500 right back into your account with mybookie.ag. That is code next round, mybookie.ag, code next round. As we go to the primetime window, let's talk about the Florida Gators. Lance just mentioned drawing the alligator for his upset alert. Miami coming off that massive win over South Florida. South Florida was never in that game. There was a weather delay, but they were never in that game. 7.5 points Miami is favored over the Florida Gators. A total of 51 down in Hard Rock Stadium.
They have won 13 straight games in the month of August, September, and October, but they're 4-10 under Mario Cristobal in the months of November and December. So they always get out to these fast starts. I think Florida's got as much talent on their roster as Miami. It doesn't look like it through 3 games, but Florida just can't cash in yet. There's still a lot of, obviously, season to play. Terrible performance by DJ Lagway. I think he wakes up a little bit, plays much better in this situation. I like Florida plus 7.5.
My question you have to always ask when a coach is virtually dead man walking is what's left in the want-to tank of the team. At Baton Rouge, they still wanted it. They played hard. It was a very passionate team. Now one more loss stacked on that, going on the road at Miami. Is there still want-to in the tank for Florida? I would say that the fact you're playing another Florida school with a lot of kids that you went to camps with and played high school football against, that helps Florida. I agree with you, but this stat's too good for me not to say it one more time this week. And I got this from The Athletic. 28 straight wins is what Billy Napier would need to get to match the winning percentage of Dan Mullen when Mullen was fired at Florida.
Just a remarkable number.
There's too much going on with this proud Florida program. I mean, he's 20-21. They haven't beaten a top 5 team since 2020 when they knocked off Georgia. I mean, 5 years they haven't beaten a top 5 team.
It is remarkable.
And they've had plenty of opportunities.
Yeah. Another reason why I like LT, I like Florida, though. Carson Beck last year, 3 interceptions at the Swamp against this Florida defense. They schemed him up pretty good. He's got better receivers with Joshua Moore at Miami than maybe he had at Georgia during the cocktail party. But 3 interceptions last year. Beck survived the cocktail party despite throwing 3 picks. Does the Florida coaches have Beck's number? We'll see.
And DJ Turnover actually went out injured in that game, and Florida was right in it when they did. I'm going to die hard on this Florida team. I like them to keep it inside the 7.5. I think this will be a very entertaining late game. Another one that could be entertaining, Illinois, one of those teams that a lot of people had as a sexy player. They're this year's Indiana, a lot of people said. Well, this week they're a 6-point underdog.
To this year's
Indiana. That feels like it is a primetime game in Bloomington. This number, I think for a lot of casuals, seems surprisingly high that Illinois would be given 6 points on the road at Indiana.
It continues to go the wrong way for me. The first time I looked at it was 4.5.
Yeah.
Now it's 6. It's my upset alert earlier this week. I'm going to ride with Luke Altmaier to think that he can play another good, solid game and just try to rely on Illinois' run game to get it done. What will be surprising in this game will be Indiana's defense that is getting rave reviews. They played nobody, but there is a belief that Indiana's defense will be the story of this game. If I'm playing this game, I'm playing a total, and I'm playing it under like it's an Army-Navy game.
Well, look, it was Indiana State last Friday night, but they held Indiana State to 5 first downs and 77 total yards.
Wow.
I get it. Look, it's not a big-time opponent, but that's still dominant defense. You've got 2 really good quarterbacks. Mendoza, in my opinion, a little bit better, leading the Big Ten with 9 touchdown passes. But Altmaier's yet to turn it over. 8 touchdowns, 0 picks. But going back to it, Indiana under Cignetti, 11-4 against the number. I will take Indiana. I will lay the points here.
That total's 52.5, by the way.
Oh, that seems like an easy under there.
You played under.
Yeah.
That does feel easy.
It does. I would say this, though. Illinois has been tested on the road at Duke. Mm-hmm. Indiana hasn't yet, and sometimes that makes a difference.
Yeah. I just feel like 6 is too many. I think Indiana probably wins this game. I think Illinois keeps it inside the 6. And if it is a low-scoring game, that's 6 points. Translates into a lot more points. All right, we go to the NFL, all the Sunday and Monday night action in the NFL. A reminder, MyBookie.ag brings you our football pick show. Code next round at MyBookie.ag when you sign up, and you get that bet back bonus up to $500. MyBookie.ag code next round. MyBookie.ag code next round. What looks like the best game on Sunday is going to be in the early window on Fox. The Rams at the Eagles. The Rams catching 3 points on the road in Philadelphia. A total of 44.5.
I mean, look, the Rams played a challenged offense in Houston week 1 in SoFi. They didn't give up a touchdown. They gave up 1 touchdown right before half last week to Cam Ward, and not a very good Titans offense. I don't know. I think the Rams are good. I think the defense is playing better and better. Puka Nacua, you heard Dan Orlovsky on the show earlier today, one of the best receivers in all of football. I think the quarterback matchup, I don't know. Where do you guys go? Hurts, Stafford?
Stafford has had the better career. Hurts does have jewelry just like Stafford does. I mean, that's a tough one. Hurts didn't play amazing in the win at Kansas City.
I would not play this game right now, but I have seen it at some shops 3.5. If I could get the Rams plus 3.5, I might take a look at that, but I don't feel great about this game either way.
I will tell you there's an interesting stat out there. Again, this is from The Athletic. The Eagles have only 3 pass plays of 10 yards or more, 8 fewer than the next worst team in the NFL. So it's been a very short passing attack. It's been a running attack. It's been the tush-push through 2 quality opponents. Now they get the Rams. Everywhere I've looked, it's been Rams, until I just popped up this one on The Athletic. Vic Torfor, I think, likes
Vic.
the Eagles.
Okay.
Vic's your guy.
So there you go, turning back your other way there.
Let's talk about some afternoon slate action, or late afternoon slate action. Denver's at the Chargers. Chargers 2.5-point favorite in this game. Denver didn't play well in a win over Tennessee. They got robbed in a win over Indianapolis. A late penalty gave Indianapolis a second bite at the apple on a game-winning field goal. So they're 1-1. The Chargers, meanwhile, have a chance to go 3-0 to open the season against their division. That is rare air right there when you could start your season 3-0 within your division. And the Chargers can do that with a win.
Chargers 5-1 against the spread their last 6. On the other side, Denver's only 1-5 against the spread. I said before the season I thought the Chargers would win the West. But I like Denver in this spot. Getting 2.5. Everybody's talking about the Chargers. You can't go anywhere where people are talking about the NFL and top 5 lists. The Chargers aren't in that top 5. I'm not saying that makes them a loser in this game, but from the way Bo Nix played in Week 1 against Tennessee to the way he played against the Colts last week is more the Bo Nix we saw last year. I think that continues against a really good Charger defense. I think this will be a dogfight, but I kind of like Denver to win the game outright plus 2.5.
If Denver wins it, it'll be because their offensive line continues to play better and give Bo Nix time. When Bo has time and is able to get the pass out quickly, that's when he's at its best. Sean Payton's at his best. Broncos are at their best. I don't worry about the Broncos defense. Can the O-line hold up against the Chargers defensive line to keep us from getting backyard Bo? And that's where things go bad.
Cowboys are at the Bears. Dallas -1 at Chicago. The Bears offense hasn't been great under Ben Johnson. Nothing helps more than playing the Cowboys defense. So it's not a very good defense. So if ever you're going to have a good offensive day, this will be it.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, it's going to take him a minute to get on the same page as Ben Johnson. But you're right. I mean, this Dallas defense has been awful. The total has gone over in 7 of the last 10 games for the Cowboys. I think you're getting a lot of points on both sides here.
That total's 50.5.
That's a big NFL
big
total.
NFL number, yeah. Not the biggest of the weekend, but a big one.
Are the Bears favored? Is it a pick 'em? It's pretty close,
It's
right?
Dallas favored 1 right now on
Dallas
MyBookie.ag. Yeah,
then
very close.
I'm money lining because it's 1. I'm money lining the Bears in this one.
-106 for that.
I believe that in the NFL you get a lot of push to the middle. I just can't see the Bears being 0-3, right? They're 0-2.
They're 0-2.
Caleb Williams and them get it right at home. They beat the Cowboys in a close one.
They just got shellacked last week by Detroit.
Yep.
And to see this number come at -1 is interesting, but I think that speaks a lot about where the Cowboys are
Well, and
defensively.
just to let you know, Caleb Williams' last 13 games as starting quarterback, 1-12.
That's not great. That is not great in 13 games.
Bears win it outright.
And then Sunday night, Chiefs at the Giants. Chiefs are a 6.5-point favorite coming off a bad offensive performance at home in the loss to Philadelphia. The Giants coming off a loss on the road at Dallas, but it wasn't the offense's fault. Russell Wilson had a career high in passing yards in that game.
I got a friend who works in Kansas City media, covers Kansas City. Some frustration out there with injuries in the wide receiver room. It seems to be a weekly occurrence the last couple of years for Kansas City. They are beat up. And the offensive side of the ball is becoming frustrated with it. Not that they're not really hurt. It's hard to keep going to do your job if people can't do their job, if they can't get on the field. They just have a lot of bad luck injuries in that wide receiver room. But it's got to be Kansas City. It's Kansas City or don't play it in this game.
I think I would play New York actually in this situation because I think there is so much desperation. And you think about Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes are going to be looking at Malik Neighbors like, how in the hell do we not have a guy like that? But, I mean, if Russ can just continue, just to kind of churn out yards and put them in a situation to win these games, I don't think Kansas City can outscore anyone. By the way, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games, Kansas City. 1-9 against spread the last 10 out against the New York Giants. I kind of like the Giants to keep this thing close, and that would be a massive story. If KC was to drop to 0-3 and lose to New York.
Yeah, all of a sudden your odds at 0-3, even for Kansas City, of making the playoffs become very, very grim.
What do you think the most popular Super Bowl pick right now is? The opponents?
Probably
Eagles, Ravens? No, Bills, Eagles.
Bills, Eagles. If not the Bills, it's
the
Chargers.
Ravens. Oh, the Chargers?
Chargers are a very sexy pick right now.
And if not the Eagles, the Packers?
Chargers, Eagles. Who did Chiefs play the first two games?
Well, that would be the Chargers and the Eagles.
Chargers and Eagles. They played two pretty good teams.
And one of those in Brazil.
Everything's not so bad.
They've only
yet.
lost once in the United States.
Yeah,
That's
but your leading rusher is Pat Mahomes. That's a problem.
That is a problem.
And you've got
Yeah.
5 starting quarterbacks this week that won't start because of injuries. He continues to run the football at that rate. He's going to be number 6.
Yeah.
Andy Reid. Andy Reid knows they've not won a game yet since Travis Kelce got engaged. So a lot of pressure
You talk
to get
about
it right.
this all the time.
Hey, he makes that catch. I mean, that's not one that Travis Kelce's going to drop, and that was the game changer against Philadelphia. It goes off his hands, very Ryan Williams-like, into the hands of the defender.
Very rare.
That was the swing.
All right, all the games can be played right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at mybookie.ag. That gets you that bet back bonus of up to $500. Here's how that works. Use code next round when you set up your account there at mybookie.ag. Make your first bet. If you lose, they cover it up to $500 right back into your account, and you can play again right away at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. So easy to sign up right there at mybookie.ag. Just a minimal amount of information they ask you for right there, and then you are ready to go. But one piece of that information, make sure you use promo code next round to get that $500 bet back bonus up to $500 when you use code next round at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Thank you for joining us for the MyBookie Football Pick Show. Please give us a thumbs up, share us on social media, and make sure you do a couple things for us. On our YouTube page, make sure you subscribe and set your alerts so you know when we're live. And wherever you get us on podcasts, make sure you set up automatic downloads available at Apple, Spotify, iHeart, all the major podcast platforms, Google Podcast as well. Set up your automatic downloads so our show downloads every day. We're live 9 to noon every single weekday on the next round. Thank you for joining us for the MyBookie Football Picks.